AI is open. Pat's at work. He had to work late tonight. But he's not coming today. I think everybody who submitted a game today had black pieces. I don't think that's happened before. Unlikely, anyway. Probably would have remembered. Ugh. Hello. Hi to YouTube. How am I doing? Ugh, horrible. See my doctor tomorrow. Maybe he'll change my medications. Not sure what he can do. He changes my medications all the time. Nothing seems to work. Yeah, the usual. Sleeping all day, feeling terrible. Thinking about not streaming, but streaming anyway. I've been itchy the last few days too. Not sure why. One of my problems is I have sleep apnea, but I have trouble sleeping at night and I wake up a lot. Then I'm tired, so I sleep all day. Then I can't sleep at night. And then I tried that apparatus they have for that, and I couldn't sleep with that. I couldn't sleep at all with that. Did you watch Magnus won Chess.com Open? I did not. I heard he was playing on an iPad. I guess I should start doing that. They never answered me why I wasn't on Chess TV. Let's see. Yeah, they never answered. Oh well. Hello. Have you ever played against the Mad Cow? That sounds made up. Can I play with you, please? I'm from Uzbekistan. I'm not playing people today. I'm doing chess analysis of games that people with subs sent in. Also, you're not a sub. And from Uzbekistan, you should be asleep. It's too late there. It's like 4 in the morning. I don't understand you, bro. I'm with the translator. And the truth hurts. Yeah, the mad cow is just an opening you made up. It doesn't exist. One time, I worked at a chess store in Ann Arbor, and this guy called up, and he said, "Hello, I had a dream last night about this game, and in the game, this happened and that happened." And he went on. And then he said, "Do you sell that?" And I said, "Do we sell the game that you invented in your dream?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "No." And he said, "Could you make that game and then I'll come and buy it?" Chess Sakoto is banned, but he doesn't understand what that means because he needs a translator. I recommend a Chess Sakoto. He plays the mad cow. Well, we're on Chess TV today. Chess TV. We should have been on yesterday, but we weren't. Instead, they had a blank screen of Nemo's finishing stream. We had a guy call once and say he tried to park for an hour near our chess store. We couldn't find a parking space, so he went home. And then he wanted all kinds of free stuff from us for his, wasting his time. My nickname is Chess. Is Chess Speed. How do you identify a good chess coach versus a bad one? Well, a bad chess coach usually has a black hat on, and the good chess coach would have a white hat. No genuine questions on my stream. Okay, this stream's not going to go very long because we only had 5 games sent in. Ugh, man, I'm itchy. Okay, so first game is my brother's game, and he wrote, I played the game against Michigan TD and player Jennifer Skidmore, now known as Jennifer Skidmore Smith. I didn't know about the issues with F6 in those days, so I played it. After a major piece struggle in time trouble, Jen should have tried to defend a worse rook and pawn ending, but instead made a tactical misstep right after the time control. Yeah, the games were pretty long today. This game was played in the 2000 Michigan Open, and the time control is a slow time control. This is the last round. Oh, that was in 2000 that I won? Are we allowed to submit more than one game? No. Also, you're banned. Just for asking the question. Okay, so we have a Grand Prix Sicilian. Still theory. E5 is a little unusual, but it's okay. Yeah, and bishop e5 is just a mistake. White should put the bishop on e2 or play g3, bishop g2. This particular position, probably d4 is the best move. But e5 is a little unusual. Bishop e5 just gives away the bishop pair. That's not very good. Now, if this was a bug house game, White could put a knight on d6 with mate. But not a bug house game. Yeah, bishop takes isn't a good move because bishop should be attacked before you waste the time taking the knight. Now, black has a clear advantage with basically 2 bishops for nothing. Yeah, g6 isn't great. Probably better play knight f5, which is one of my rules. And then the bishop can go to e7. Okay, G6's okay. Black's still better. The engine was considering the move F5 here and F6. Problem is the E-pawn can become weak after F5 or F6. So one of the engine moves is Bishop D7. Protects the pawn. Okay, but B5 is okay. Engine likes knight E2 better than knight D1. But the knight looks badly placed on both squares. So I don't know. Yeah. In this particular position, F6 is a good move. So it's good my rules didn't exist then. This game was played 26 years ago. God damn. Attacking white center, trying to open up the position for the bishops. Put it in H. Now black's threatening knight to E2 check, winning the queen. And the knight can saunter over to F5 at the appropriate moment, and the C2 pawn is attacked. So white doesn't have time to take the bishop. Now the engine says it's equal, although I still like black. The engine wants to take on C5. Yeah, it says black is slightly better now. Now it says it's equal. It says rook E2 is a blunder. Now black is winning with C4, which is explosive. C4 seems like a hard move to find. I don't particularly understand C4. After C4, the engine plays D4. I don't know why the engine doesn't take. Let's find out why. BC3. Yeah, it just says black's winning here, I guess, because black's bishop is so strong. It says +3 for black. Yeah, C4 seems like a hard move to find unless you just blindly follow my rules, which didn't exist at this point. It'd be hard to do. Okay, BC is also good for black. Engine still says black's winning. Yeah, E5 is a good move. Trying to open up white's king. But now it says black is just winning. That's +4 for black. Black's up 2 pawns. Always repeat. Yeah, it doesn't like rook F7, but still says black's winning. Yeah, it says that's the best move. Yeah, it wants black to unpin the rook with king G7. It says that move is really bad. Now black is +7. Yeah, I mean, rook's pinned, so you don't want to unpin it. Yeah, rook C7 is a good move. The idea of rook C1 check. And white can't play queen C4 anymore. After rook C7, there's no defense to rook C1 check. The engine says queen C2 is the best move. God damn. Probably instead of resigning, white should have played rook f2, although it says black is plus 16. White's king is pretty open. Here's the engine line. Rook f2, queen h4, and then rook c3. And then in this position, the engine announces mate. It sees all the way to mate, even though it's like mate in 20. Because white's king is so open. Terrible. If I was white, I'd play rook f3. Then you lose the king and pawn ending. It announces mate here too. It says this is mate because it sees all the way to mate. Obviously, black's winning. After rook c7, black resigned. Black was better, much better for most of the game. There were few positions where it was equal, but it seemed like white pushing all of her pawns on the king side opened her own king up more than it did expose black's king. Nice, solid game for black. Nice last round game. How do you feel about Karpov's political views? What are his political views? Karpov doesn't say much nowadays. Yeah, Karpov is 75 this year. That's correct. Born the same year as Timon, so he outlived Timon. Oh, Deja Vu 2 had white. I thought everybody who submitted a game had black. Well, I was wrong. Ben, I put your bot versus Hikaru bot. Your bet trash talks the whole game, but Hikaru bot won. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like our bots. He sat in the Duma and voted for the invasion of Ukraine. Truth hurts. Well, still better than Trump. Trump likes to bomb hospitals with all children in them, so I don't know. Hard to be worse than Trump. Yeah, Karpov doesn't play in tournaments anymore. He played in a few, but he never played in the World Senior. Yeah, Karpov won the World Junior in 1969, the year I was born. Okay. Hi, Ben and Pat. Sorry, Pat's not here. He had to work. I got into time trouble in this 5-minute game. 5-minute game, you're in time trouble on move 1. From last month, where I was white. After 32 moves by each side, time situation is 1 minute 13 for me and 1 minute 9 for him. 9. I then spent 55 seconds to find 33 queen f6. A word of advice, if you have a minute 13 left, don't think 55 seconds on a move. Which chaos ensued. I make my last 20 moves with my remaining 18 seconds. Okay, and both players are 1700, 1800. And our hero is white. This is a 5-minute game, so don't expect too much. Yeah, when I was black in the French, when I was a kid, I played A5, which Theory doesn't like. C4 is the most common move. Bishop D7 is a move. Typically, white plays A3 with the intention of playing b4 here. Playing bishop e2 is weird because you could have played bishop e2 without playing a3. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's just technical. Usually, black doesn't want to take too early on d4 because that gives white the c3 square for his knight. This is a mild inaccuracy, I would say. Yeah, g4 is no good. Yeah, you just got to play knight c3 here. And then if knight f5, you can play knight a4, attacking the queen. Yeah, g4 just weakens white's king. Now black can play h5 and black's better. Yeah, you typically don't want to play g4 in the advanced French before black plays knight f5. Black plays knight f5 and g4 forces the knight back to e7, then it's okay. Right, now black's better. And black won easily. No reason to look at the game. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so h3, putting it in h. Now the engine wants to play f6 or f5. Black made a mistake and played g6. Now white's better. The knight on e7 is trapped. Yeah, when white's not developed and white opens his king, it's good to attack the center. Yeah, black's knights are all terrible. The engine wants to play knight g8, setting up for the next game. Bishop h6, confusing the audience. Engine says that's terrible and white's winning now. Well, it's a 5-minute game. So. Yeah, queen d2 is good. Now the engine plays knight f5, sacking a piece because the attack is too strong. Oh, knight takes d7. Oh, that's the best knight I've ever seen. That's the worst bishop I've ever seen. So knight takes bishop is ridiculous. Shows no chess understanding, and I can't allow Deja Vu 2 to submit games anymore because his move is so bad. And I'm gonna have to contact Danny Wrench and Eric and All Best and have them lower Deja 2's rating. Yeah, you can't be pawn grubbing like that and give up your best pieces for the worst pieces. Terrible. A move I would never consider. Yeah, you gotta develop your knight. Your knight's on b1 the whole game. You gotta get your knight into the game. Anyway, white should be ashamed of himself. Didn't even take the pawn. He just gave up a knight for the bishop. Ugh. Still white's winning because black's position is so bad. Now the position's equal because black has perpetual check because the knight's overworked. So when white did play queen takes f7, it was a mistake. The knight defends the queen, therefore the knight can't take a rook on h3, so white can start checking on h3. Rook h3 check, rook h2 check, etc. And if white puts the king on g1, then queen h6 is dangerous. Anyway, black played queen h6 right away, and the engine says that just loses. Now if you start attacking, my king can go to f4 later. Try to escape. So queen e6. Now white's winning. Now white should play rook h1, putting in an h. Queen f6 is also winning. And knight f7 check. Engine says black can resign. But it's a 5-minute game, so it's good not to resign. Oh, now it says white can resign. White should play e takes f7 check. E takes f7, and white is plus 12 because the knight's pinned. Now the knight's not pinned. Now black's winning, but black missed the winning move. Knight f5 check. Always play knight f5. The idea is if you take the knight, queen h4 is mate. Of course, knight f5 check is illegal if white had captured with the e pawn, which was correct. Now knight f5 is winning because white has to take with the queen and give his queen away. Okay, so black's winning here. In a 5-minute game, I wouldn't expect black to play knight f5 check. It's too hard. He played queen h4. Now, if the pawn on g4 was on f5, that would be mate. But the pawn's on g4 because black didn't play knight f5. So king f4. Now white's winning because white's up material. Okay, and king e5 is a blunder. White should play g5, and white's winning. Engine says plus 4. After king e5, black wins easily. Black played knight c6 check, which loses. Queen g5 wins. Then if you play king d6, then you can mate in 2 by playing either knight to c8. I'll play this one. And then b6 mate. If you don't like that, then you can play the other knight to c8 and then b6 mate. I've never seen that before. You can play either knight to c8. So the engine plays queen f5, losing a queen for nothing. And then says black is up 1,000. So queen g5 check is winning. Instead, black played knight c6 check, which was the losing move. King d6, now white's winning. Queen f4 just hangs a queen. Now, white played the excellent move, king c5, instead of queen takes queen, winning a queen. I'm not sure why both players missed queen takes queen. Normally, if you can play queen takes queen and win a queen, that's a good move. Okay, but white didn't play queen takes queen and walked into checkmate instead. Now black checkmates white. And now we have queen b4 mate and knight c8 mate. But black played queen e5 check, always repeat. And now the game's equal, it says. Okay, now, once again, white's losing. White should play king c4. The engine says it's equal. Now black's winning. And that move is a blunder. And now white's winning. Black should play queen c7 check. And black wins easily. Now white's winning. Either legal move wins. Although king c5 is a legal move. Okay, now white's plus 12. Now white has mate in 1 with queen f8 mate. That gives white the advantage. The king on b6 is active. This is the second week in a row I've seen a white king on b6. Although white got mated in the other game. Or no, white won the other game. Okay, he played king takes b7, walking into discovered checks and checkmates. Queen f8 mate was better. Instead, knight e5 check checks the king and wins the queen and wins easily. After knight b4 check, now white's winning again. Queen a6 check doesn't make any sense because I can take it with a pawn. But I'm assuming white didn't do that because white didn't take a free queen before. Why should white take a free queen now? Yeah, I was right. Okay, now white's up a rook for nothing and winning. Okay, in this position, white has to never play f3, blocking the rook. After king here, now black has checkmate. Okay, now black's losing again. Black can play queen a2 check and rook b1 mate, ladder mate. After this check, we let the king run out. So now white's winning. And in this position, it says 0-1. So I guess white lost on time. But after king f3, white's winning. Because white's threatening queen d7 mate as well as the queen, and white's up 3 pawns. So that's one of the worst games I've ever seen. Both sides were winning throughout. The cap score is probably in the 50s. Both sides hung their queen. Both sides were mated. Both sides missed mate and won. And when the game did end with black winning, white was winning. These guys are 1800. What you have to do is not get yourself in a situation where both of you have 10 seconds left. You're playing a 5-minute game, you should try to have a minute when the game's over. So if there's any tough decisions, you can make tough decisions later in the game. In this game, both players were just blitzing and hanging their queen and pre-moving and missing mate and one, etc. I have to tell my psychiatrist about this game. It's making me, psychologically ill. Take some more lithium. Southern Otter subscribed. Game wasn't that bad until the players both had less than 30 seconds. Then the game was pretty bad. But it was exciting. Are you back to soda? Man, I haven't had soda in years. Unless you mean soda water. I just gave up Perrier. I don't drink Perrier anymore. Yeah, I'm not naming my child Seven. I'm naming him Soda. We're not happy with soda. We like Seven. Very unusual. Why did you give up Perrier? I don't know. You got to do something. Hey, Ghost of M. If you guys want to join a poker room on the internet and get discounts and get free stuff, type !special and then you'll get free stuff. You have to do it by tomorrow. It's ACR, America's Card Room. Karen is a stormer for them. If you ask me to view your game, you're banned. Pat got deported. That's correct. Sometimes Pat has to work. That was only the second game? Ugh. But Pat submitted a game, so that's good. It's Pat. Time control is 15:10. Spent about 4 minutes on move 19 calculating stuff. Figured that was enough to consolidate. Or I'd figure it out once I got there. The ratings are Lichess Rapid. The time control is 15:10. Pat's opponent is 2,000 and Pat's 2185. It's Pat. A Smith Mora delayed. I think this way of playing for black is recommended by Perlstein. If black's up a pawn, white doesn't seem to have enough compensation. Now, white can win the pawn back by taking on d5 because of the knight c7 fork trick, which all of you see. Okay, which is bishop takes, queen takes, knight check, etc. And the engine says it's equal. But he played bishop b3. Now black's up a pawn for basically nothing. White doesn't have enough compensation. Okay, and that move is a blunder because black can capture on d4 and then play knight f5. The queen can't defend the bishop. So black is just winning now. Black played the winning move. Knight takes d4. Bishop takes d4. Now, if white plays queen takes d4, black plays knight f5, and that attacks the queen and the bishop. And the queen can't really stay on the bishop. So the engine plays bishop takes e7, then after bishop takes f2 desperado, black is winning. Okay, so instead they played the other line. Now it says queen b5 is winning because you can't defend everything. Everything's attacked. Black played g5, which the engine says gives away some of black's advantage. And this is what Pat wrote in his notes. He spent 4 minutes on g5 calculating stuff. And he calculated this. And he said he calculated rook g3 check, knight takes g3. And the engine plays rook g3 check and says white's only slightly worse after knight takes, pawn takes. Even though white's down a rook, white has a tremendous attack because rook e5 is coming. So engine says that's what white should do. White played queen h5, which just loses. So rook g3 check, which Pat analyzed, this gives white a playable position because rook e5, rook g5 is coming. Even though black's up a rook, black's king is really open. So this is a 15-minute game. You know, players aren't super GMs. So rook g3 check is pretty hard to find. Now black is just up a piece. White doesn't really have anything. And they just traded queens, so rest of the game, I guess, is just silly. Not sure why white traded queens. Not sure why white's not resigning. White's 2,000 and black's 2,200. Hey, this is the ladder mate that the last guy didn't see. Queen c2, rook d1 mate. So basically, that game depended on one move. White had to play rook g3 check and get rid of black's knight and be down a rook and have compensation. Instead, white didn't sacrifice the exchange. Terrible. Then black was winning, and black had good technique. Although white's fighting spirit down a piece was pretty bad. Trading queens, trading everything, terrible. Yeah, I think Pat only plays bots, so I guess it's a bot. ACR link is broken. No. The only thing to do is tell, what's his name? What is his name? Who's the guy who pins everything? I forgot your name because I've only said it 1 million times. Where's my pin guy? No, not Tensor Extension. Can you play Magnus Bot? I told you, no questions. No, not Bonarici. Bonarici does not pin anything. Eyes open, you're banned. No, I figured out the link. Okay, good. He's here every stream. I say hi to him. He's on Karen's stream also. He's a poker player. I forgot his name, but he's not saying anything, so I twist in the wind. That's good. I can't remember my opponent's name when I'm playing them. I have to look at the score sheet. I can't remember who I'm playing. Yeah, names I'm not good at. I forget people's names. Ghost of M. That's his name. Only he can fix the link. And I guess the link isn't broken. So it's defendable. Mega Dido. I hope I didn't forget your name. I never heard of you. Who were you? Anyway, you're all banned. Speaking of being banned, it's Unipig. And I don't think he wrote anything. Yeah, he didn't write nothing. Okay, so both players are 1800. Time control's 10 minute. I wrote at the end. Oh, yeah, that's right. How do I capitalize on positions like the one I got out of the opening? I am black. I don't know, it looked like you did okay. Anyway, you're banned, so I can't tell you. Okay, so black is our hero. Both players are low 1800s. F4 is not very common. So far, black's playing great. The engine wants to play G5, but D6 is okay. Transposed to the Fischer variation of the King's Gambit. Now the engine wants to play H4, white castled. So G4 is okay. Queen E7 is okay. Castles is okay. It looks like you're playing fine. Engine says you're slightly better. Okay, the engine doesn't like that move. That move's too exciting. The engine wants to play King B8, getting the king off of this checking square. And it says black is much better. Then develop your pieces, Queen D7, and white's development isn't very good. So, I mean, to me, this position is complicated, but the engine likes black. The engine says you played the opening fine, but it says bishop take D4 is crazy. Crazy like Fox News. Now it says white's better. And now you're down a piece. B3 is a very strange move. Could take on A7 would make sense. Now the engine wants to take the rook because your queen's not on F7 anymore. King G2 is okay. Your question's about the opening, but the only thing you did wrong was you unsoundly sacrificed a piece in the middle game. Opening, you played fine. Maybe you overestimated your position. That move doesn't make any sense. No reason to give the knight away. That's still winning. But it still doesn't make any sense. That move doesn't make any sense. It says white's winning with rook g1 to come here, or queen check, attacking the king. This move now, it says it's equal. It says that's a blunder. Now queen c6 wins. I don't know why. It says now that's a blunder and c6 is equal. It says that's a blunder and queen g5 check wins. Queen f1's nonsensical garbage. Now black's slightly better, it says. But queen f1's ridiculous. In this position, engine says black is slightly better and material is equal. And I don't know what happened if white lost on time or white resigned. I don't know why white would resign because it says it's about equal. It says you could play e5 or rook c2. And, you know, both kings are exposed. I'd rather have black. But engines doesn't say black's winning. Oh, okay, white lost on time. Yeah, that was a pretty bad game. Black played an unsound piece sack. Then white sacked a piece for no reason. Then white didn't prosecute his attack very well and let black into the game, back into the game. Then black won on time. So, I mean, I would probably, if I played like that, I would either quit chess or, you know, send in different games. Anyway, terrible. Yeah, but when you play a game where both sides blunder every move, then you ask about the opening, it shows you don't know what to work on. Opening doesn't matter at all in your games. Both of you guys are playing bad tactics. Opening was the best thing about the game for black. That was the only thing you did nothing wrong. So basically, you're banned. Also, you didn't lose on time. That's the second game where somebody lost on time when they weren't losing. Stop losing on time unless you're playing me. Then you can lose on time. Okay, last game is Eyes Open, who I think is Sit Bear. I think everybody's Sit Bear. This is the last game I played today. Ugh. Both players are 2,300 something. This is a 5-minute game. It's Jeff the Shark. After stop obsessing about stuff, he went from 2,000 to 1,800. Okay, so f4, terrible. Bishop g4, exclam. All right, black is already slightly better. We have a revert. Oh, bishop d2, terrible. We have a reversed Stonewall. Yeah, bishop d2 doesn't make any sense. Now white has to protect b2 somehow. Ugh. Yeah, and taking this is a terrible blunder because it allows black's queen to go to b2. White just play bishop c2, and black is slightly better. White's pieces are sort of passive. Taking just loses. Now the bishop's attacked, and queen b2 is going to be a winning threat. Yeah, queen d1 is ridiculous. How can white be 2,300 and play queen d1? Ugh. You got to allow queen b2 and just take your medicine. But, okay, bc is the blunder here, and c4 is explosive. So basically, white should quit chess. Queen d1. And black should be ashamed for submitting this game. Ugh. The pawn's nice here. Just play queen a6 and defend it. Might as well have a nice pawn. That move's ridiculous, missing the tactical knight c3. Black should play f5 here and solidify his knight on d5. But yeah, e4 is a blunder. He's losing anyway. Should see knight takes c3 because all the tactics work in black's favor. I would guess white's rating is about 800 and white's actual rating is 2350. Just terrible. Well, he's proving that he's not cheating. Yeah, and here black should take the queen and then take the rook. Black's up a piece. Bishop takes is terrible. Still winning, but bishop takes c3, bishop takes queen, bishop takes rook, black's up a piece. Black is still winning, just less winning. And this isn't difficult. Oh, always sack the exchange. Now black's up a piece again. This is one of the worst games I've ever seen a 2300 player play. Every move ridiculous. Rook takes rook. That was just awful. Black played okay that game. Black's technique wasn't good, but white's play was horrible. White made like a mistake every move. Yeah, if white was my student, I would fire them and tell them to get another teacher that isn't so mad. If black was my student, I would just charge them more. Anyway, if the player who had white that game would come on the stream, I could ban them. As they would deserve to be banned. Let's see, does this still have stuff? No. Terrible. Well, that's all the games that were submitted. I'm going to lay down now and feel terrible. I got to wake up and ass in the morning, too. Terrible. Let's see. Who should I raid? I guess John Curtis chess is the only one doing chess. Sorry I'm ending so early and that I feel so bad. Someday I won't feel bad. Maybe tomorrow my doctor will change my meds and next stream I'll feel better. And so forth. Okay, see you guys on Tuesday if I